Hey guys, it's Britt and welcome back to my channel. We are back sharing another delicious whole food plant-based SOS-free recipe. Today we are making our sheet pan pancakes. This recipe was made back in 2022 for our membership, and so it's finally coming out to the public for you guys. If you guys haven't checked out our membership, we just put out 10 new recipes inside. There's a total of 40 recipes that are not public yet, and I'll post some of the pictures on the screen right now. It's a really great way to help support what we do here on the channel, and so if you would love to be a supporting member to help us keep making recipe videos and doing all the outreach that we do, I'd love to have you join. The links down below. It also includes our monthly cooking class, which you don't want to miss. So for today's recipe, this is one that I've loved being pregnant. We're about halfway through our pregnancy now. And this is one that I also will be doing a ton postpartum because this recipe is so easy. Like, if you're not somebody who wants to stand in front of the stovetop making pancakes in the morning, if you have struggled making that perfect pancake, you know, the first one's always kind of comes out kind of funny, and then as you go, you know, this is a recipe for you. It literally comes out perfect every time. You can freeze this, which is what I plan to do postpartum, a bunch. And then you can toast these or you can put them in the oven once they're sliced up individually for a really easy morning go. So we love these. If you haven't tried sheet pan pancakes, they're literally the best thing ever. And you also can add so many different toppings. I'm going to share with you guys the base. And then today we're doing berries and some dark chocolate for our toppings, but you could do so many different things. Dried fruit, you could put nuts and seeds in this, you could leave them plain, you could do all one fruit or multiple fruits or tropical fruits, whatever your heart desires. The recipe for this is right below. So if you go to the more section right underneath this video, you'll see the show notes. I type out the recipe right there for you guys, as well as a link to our website. And we have a free printable PDF and Microsoft document for you guys to print off. There are no long stories on our website. It's literally photos of the recipe for you guys. So to make it very easy, and again, we have a Microsoft document. So if you want to put it in any of the apps that you use, or you want to save it on your computer, or there's a PDF if you want to print it out, lots of options. I try to do this for everyone. This recipe generally serves around 8 people, I find. We're going to use a 15 by 10 baking sheet. Around that, it's kind of on the smaller end of baking sheets. So if you have something a little bit variety in size, it should totally be fine. As you go, you'll see how we do this. I've lined that with a parchment paper just to make it a little bit easier for cleanup. But I love this recipe so much because it's so easy. The 2 things I did ahead of time was I made 2 flax eggs and I made our buttermilk replacement. And those just need to sit for around 10 minutes just to kind of do their magic. And I only do that ahead of time so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me wait to do that. So I took 2 tablespoons of flax meal and I mixed it with 6 tablespoons of water, and this will make our flax egg get nice and thick. Do that ahead of time. While you do that, you want to make your buttermilk replacement. So this is 1/2 cups of plant milk and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And you'll see that it kind of starts to curdle on top along the same time as this starts to thicken up. So those are really the hardest parts of this recipe. So easy. And then we're just going to dump everything into a bowl for our dry, mix in with our wets, add our toppings, and this recipe is done. Super easy. Also on here is grams if you need them as well. So I have 2 cups of oat flour, and I just made this by pulsing some rolled oats raw in a high-speed blender to make a flour, and it's really easy. So 2 cups of that. You could use something else if you want, but we really like using rolled oats to make a flour. It's really inexpensive and easy and quick. We always have a bulk amount of them here. We're gonna use 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And I do have SOS-free baking soda and baking powders linked as well down below for you guys. So if you were not aware, there is a company that makes SOS-free ones that we use all the time for baking. or cooking. I'm gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla powder for this. And then 6 tablespoons of date sugar. And that's just pulverized dried dates into a sugar. You can buy them as well, really easy. So this is all the dry ingredients. Give that a little toss. Super easy. This is a great recipe to get your kids to do with you. Our little one will definitely be making sheet pan pancakes with me as well. I really look forward to that. Okay, it's all mixed in. And then we're gonna add in the wet. So again, that was 2 flax eggs that we made, that set. And you can see, look how nice and thick and goopy that kind of sat and got. And that's ground flax seeds or flax meal. And then our buttermilk replacement is the liquid as well for this. All right. So give that a toss. Now we're gonna let this sit for around 10 minutes, and that flax, egg, and everything is really gonna help kind of like make it a little bit thicker than right after you go ahead and stir it. So let it sit for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna pour it into our baking sheet. You can preheat your oven at 425 at this point. Again, this recipe is so easy. There's so much variety that you can do with it. Just make sure all of that oat flour is really incorporated well. So just take a moment to really scrape down the sides and the bottom before you let it rest. Such an easier way to make pancakes. All right. So I will see you guys back in about 10 minutes. We'll do our camera magic so you guys aren't sitting here, but let it sit for about 10 minutes to thicken up a little bit more. Grab your toppings as well. So I usually like to do around 3/4 cups of some kind of fruit. So I have berries, I have raspberries and blueberries here that I've washed. These are fresh berries, but you also can use frozen berries. So this time of year, it's January in Pittsburgh. Fresh fruit can sometimes be harder to find, especially organic where I live. So I love to get organic frozen fruit often. And so if you're gonna do that, you also can coat, if you have blueberries, sometimes blueberries can make your batter purple. What I always suggest to do, any recipe if you're making like baked goods, or if you're doing like this recipe, you can toss your frozen berries in just a little bit of oat flour, just enough to coat them a little bit, and then fold them in, and that'll keep it from turning your batter purplish or blue, I find. So you can use frozen berries, frozen fruit, you can use mangoes, pineapples, literally whatever your heart desires. But we're gonna do the fruit today, and then I generally will do around anywhere from 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 a cup of 100% dark chocolate chips. We have the Santa Barbara ones we really love. I like to sprinkle in. That's optional as well. You could use cacao and make this chocolate sheet pan pancakes. You could do whatever you'd like. So there's like so many options, and this is really fun to get, again, the whole family involved. You could sit down on the weekends, get in the kitchen, make this, and then have everyone too like add their own little toppings to each corner, and then it's really fun. So I'm very much looking forward to those times ahead of doing it together with the family. But if you're also busy, just like, this is just such an easy recipe because this makes 8 servings generally. So what we like to do again is you can freeze it, you can cut them up after they've cooked, freeze them in a stasher bag or reusable bag, and then you can pop them into even a toaster. You can put them back in the oven to warm up, however you'd like to serve it, but it is the best thing ever. If you haven't tried sheet pan, lots of recipes with sheet pans that we have on our channel, just makes life totally a game changer when you're in the kitchen and you're busy. All right, I will see you guys when we're assembling, but this recipe is almost done. Now that it's rested, let's put this all together. So what I like to do again is to use around a 15 by 10-ish. It can be slightly off a little bit on that size depending on what you have at home. You don't have to go out and buy a new pan per se, but generally around that size. And we're just gonna take the batter, spread it out as evenly as possible. when you can, it's optional. You can top with your fruit or you can fold it in. Really is up to you. You know, again, if you are having your kids help decorate, sometimes having them top it is really fun. I'm gonna fold in the fruit and most of it, leave a couple pieces out to top it, and then with the dark chocolate chips, I'm gonna add them to top. So again, this is like personal preference on how you like to do this, but I'm gonna take about, let's say about half, and fold it into the batter. Again, don't be afraid to use frozen fruit either. We love frozen fruit and frozen vegetables. They are delicious and nutritious as well, and much times more cost effective. All right, looks really good. And then carefully, I'm gonna try to pour this out as evenly as possible onto my baking sheet. So I kind of like to pour as I go, and then I can spread after. And it's gonna rise and plump up because of that baking soda and baking powder that we put in here. Also, if you don't have a Tovolo, that's the gadget I'm using. It is amazing. I love the large size one, is what I have right here. And I use it pretty much daily. Okay, so now that it's all kind of in the middle, I'm just gonna take the back of it and just gently kind of help it go into each corner. You can move your baking tray around. And I do it till I can't see any parchment paper go to each corner. Again, I'm using a non-stick baking sheet that we really love, but this is, I claim to call this baking sheet my sheet pan pancakes baking sheet, because that's what I use all the time to do it. Oh, looks great. Once it's all spread out and even, as close to even as you can get, I know with the fruit that you've maybe mixed in, it's a little bit more lumpy in some areas. That's totally fine. It's pretty forgiving, this recipe. I love it, it's so easy. What now I want to do with the rest of the fresh fruit that I have and the chocolate chips is I can just go ahead and just kind of more arrange them. Also for like the 4th of July, I save this recipe because you can make a flag with it. We love, or you know, any holiday you really can make this kind of your own, but this is very, you know, when I think about like red, white, and blue, I tend to think of this recipe too. I'll have to go back to see if I make it on the 4th every year, but it's very much giving me those vibes today. And I just like to take each berry and just kind of give it a little nudge just to make sure it's like cemented into the batter. Again, this is a great time to get your kids involved. So if you have little ones that you're trying to, you know, help them eat healthier, this is a great recipe to make. And we love serving this. I usually will make some kind of green, like I really love sauteed spinach for brunch that we love to have. You can make like a tofu scramble with a lot of greens as well to serve with it and pair it. It's turning out so cute. All right, and then it's optional, of course, to do the chocolate, but we are gonna splurge a little bit today with the dark chocolate. And you know, you can do as much or as little as you want. It's personal preference. I'm just gonna go back through all the gaps that maybe I haven't filled. and just add the Santa Barbara dark chocolate chips. And again, this is linked. I link everything on our website that we use. So I will link the pan that we use. I will link everything if you want the tofu loaf, all of it. So if you ever look at a post, I do my best to try to link if I talk about anything for you guys, because usually you have questions. Again, just a couple kind of sprinkled in. Oh. And it doesn't have to be that precise, you know. You can just make this fun and mix it all in and pour. All right, maybe just a couple more. Trying to get any place that looks bare. All right, that looks pretty good. And again, same thing, I just take, you know, just gently give it a nice tap. The chocolate will melt in, so you don't have to do it too much, but just to make it secure. So look how beautiful that looks. So now we're gonna pop this into the oven again at 425. This guy takes around 15 minutes to bake, so it's not very long. Stay close by while you're doing this. And I just love it. It's such an easy way to have brunch, breakfast. You can have dinner for breakfast. I give you permission. We love doing that. And it's such a good one to freeze and have for a day you don't feel like making breakfast or anything. All right, I'll see you guys when they come out. Again, head down below to check out everything. And this came out in the membership a long time ago, so make sure you check that out. If you want to join the membership, it's only $10 to join. We literally put everything that we have created in that month up, and then I keep 4 months up at a time, so you have tons of videos and recipes to look through, and then you don't have to wait. Like again, this came out in 2022. Don't wait, you know. I'm 2 years behind making this for you guys for YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys when it's finished. And there you have it, a sheet pan pancake. So easy to make. It's very hot, so be careful when it comes out. This is, you guys see, it's beautiful. It smells so good. And such an easy way to make breakfast or anytime you want pancakes. Now let it cool, slice it up. Again, you can transfer this to a sealable bag and freeze it. It freezes fantastic. And it's just an easy meal if you need a no-hassle breakfast. We adore this. So I hope you guys will check this out. Leave us a comment if you make it. There are so many different ways to make the variety. Don't feel shy about trying different toppings. We do like a carrot cake one around Easter in the spring. You can make all different kinds of ones. Chocolate mint in the winter. I mean, it's endless. And head down below to get the free printable PDF. And again, consider joining our membership because you get recipes like this every month, way ahead of time. That takes me forever to get out to YouTube. And you're helping support what we do. Well, I hope you guys like this. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.